Welcome to HBD Sports. It's Friday, it's money, it's Clyde. We're gonna talk some wrestling and wrestling figures. You ready, brother?
Yeah, let's get this rolling, baby.
Get in on Friday. How you doing today, brother?
Pretty good, man. Extra excited about today's show.
Yeah, me too, man. It's gonna be a little different today. I guess we're gonna talk about some the history of wrestling figures and like some of the toys and stuff like that, huh?
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, we've also got a little bit of AEW news to touch on today, just a little bit of WWE news, but yeah, mostly we're just gonna have a little fun here today. Friday, slow day today in How's it a slow day in wrestling news? I don't know, but we got a little bit of news. We will touch on that throughout the show. Gonna play a little bit of random wrestling knowledge with Clyde. Maybe another superstar has some thoughts about our show or about Clyde and his ways, and you just never know what's going to happen around here, brother. But before we hop into today's madness, do you care to share with our audience what's going to happen if this show, this podcast, this channel, baby, is lucky enough to hit 1,000 subscribers?
Well, we're going to take Dave. We're going to dress him up in a real nice Elvis suit, and I guess you're going to just wear the hell out of me with a guitar. That's what I thought was supposed to happen.
That's what the plan is, brother. And if it ain't me, maybe maybe we can get just reach out to some of the bigger people in history. You know what I mean? Like get a hold of like LA Gante or just anybody like that.
Who knows? Thanos.
I think Thanos would deliver a mean guitar shot, brother.
Yeah. It might be the end of days for me.
End of days. Well said. I like that. Like good play on words there. Out of nowhere, end your days. All right, dude. Before we hop into what we was wanting to hop into today, which we're going to talk about some of the top, like the rarest wrestling figures of all time and their worth, actually, and touch a little bit on like some of the WWF LJN line, WWF Hasbro line, and really just have some fun kind of breaking down some of these toys and some of the more, I guess, desired ones out there right now in today's market. But before we hop into all that, I just want to touch on this. Did you hear this news about Jack Swagger the other day?
No, I haven't heard what's going on with Jack.
Well, nothing's really going on with him. He was just talking, and excuse me, I think a video is trying to play on here as usual. But evidently, someone asked, pardon me. Now and forever. It was like you ever pull up an article and like a video will play? That's pretty smart how they do that.
Oh, yeah, it's slick.
No, they was asking Jack Swagger about AEW. He just said, it's a very exciting time. Not since I was in the 7th grade have pro wrestlers had other options, Swagger said, as quoted on Wrestling.inc. No disrespect to wrestlers who went to Impact TNA, but as far as supplementing your income and a paycheck you can rely on, they weren't that. And so he said it's very exciting to see that there's so much life. Not that there is no life outside the WWE. There's so much life outside the WWE. And I think that's going to make WWE step their game up, their programming up, their storylines, and wrestlers are definitely going to respond to that backstage. I think it's going to be awesome.
That was well said. I would like to see Jack Swagger come back to WWE or AEW. He should definitely be a part of one of the bigger promotions.
I agree, man, and I think that he's kind of a free agent right now. They said he's just been doing his MMA thing, of course, and then wrestling on the indies. And I think this is a good opportunity maybe for AEW to swoop in and sign him.
Yeah, they would be they'd be silly not to, I believe, man.
It'd be pretty smart, brother.
Yeah, he's a great wrestler. He's the real deal.
He certainly
is. Real American.
True American hero.
Yeah, that's right.
So before we move on today, I want to wish you something, dude. There's something I've been wanting to wish you, actually. Very, very happy. I hope you have a happy one of these. Oh, wow. Never mind. It's not going to work. Well, I was going to try to wish you a happy Rusev Day, but it's not one to work with me here, brother.
Well, you have a happy Rusev Day, too, man, and tell the kids and the wife and all your family and friends to also have a great Rusev Day. Happy Rusev Day.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I sure hope you have a happy one too, man. There's nothing like
Rusev Day.
It's like the best day of the week, right?
Yeah, it's a great holiday, man.
And so we're going to do a show here today we kind of been wanting to do for a while, and you kind of been wanting to do for a while, because as fans of wrestling, we're also fans of the memorabilia and the toys and stuff too, ever since our childhood. And so why not hop into it kind of on a slow news Friday, kind of hop into some of these toys and kind of some of the stuff that we grew up, kind of like enshrined. It's kind of cool to have like your idols enshrined in plastic as a child. And, this is the kind of stuff we grew up playing with. And, it's pretty cool, And so, what do you want to touch on first? How about this? We touch on, like, why don't you go ahead and tell us something about this WWF LJN line?
Oh, the WWF LJN line, in my opinion, is the greatest action figure line of all time. I'm sure that'll get some feedback, but those are the figures that I really got into most when I was a kid. And Brutus Beefcake for me was my top LJN. And I mean, the line just went on and on. Some of them are, thousands and thousands of dollars right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like was like an Ultimate Warrior's worth a whole lot of money. Do you know what the most expensive one is? Like, I guess if you're lucky enough to find it out there, like what the rarest LJN is.
I want to say Bret Hart in the single card is he's very, very high. The Big Boss Man. A lot of the black card guys, they're really high, thousands and thousands of dollars. So that gives you an idea of those. Yeah, it's pretty amazing the prices of some of these guys out here.
Yeah, and these are the 8-inch figures that was made in the mid to late 80s.
Use them as weapons, man. Especially like King Kong Bundy. That's basically a weapon.
Yeah, it is a weapon. I'm sorry, someone's taking over the show.
Then your house drive a Lincoln Continental, a Mercedes, a Rolls, own a Corvette, live in the biggest house on the biggest side of town, jet airplanes, and I got a limousine sitting out there a mile long with 25 women just dying for me to go. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, Ric Flair didn't have an LJN though, unfortunately. He was with WCW at the time. And what did they have? The Remco. Did Ric Flair hit a Remco figure, didn't he?
Yeah, Ric Flair did have a Remco with the purple tights and the nice white coat. He also had Galoob.
So as far as the LJN figures though, what's maybe like your top 5 or 6 figures in that line of from that era?
Well, my top would have to be Brutus Beefcake because that was the first wrestler I ever cared about. Not Brutus the Barber, just regular Brutus Beefcake as a heel. Then I'd have to go with Macho Man, Junkyard Dog. Probably go next with Greg Valentine, and fifth one I never had when I was a kid was Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, that's one of the rare figures these days too, isn't it? Was there 2 versions of the Bret Hart?
They had him in like the real bright pink, and they had him in purple. They had him on a single card, and he also come in the tag team pack with Jim the Anvil.
So with the 2 different versions you're talking about, one came on the single card, one came in the tag team pack.
Yeah, those are big money figures. If anybody sees any of those out at the flea markets for a good deal, you might want to snatch them up.
So which one is more desirable, the single carded Bret Hart or the one from the tag team pack?
The single cards they're way more rare. And they're worth a lot more, but they're both fetching thousands of dollars.
And this is in the package, right?
Yeah. Even loose mint, you can get some good money. I sold one that was beat all to hell for like $80 one time.
Oh wow! Did you? You got $80?
Yeah, I mean it was beat up. It had where the cat chewed on it and everything.
This is a Bret Hart?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh wow! So I guess after the LJN, lost their license, or actually I think they closed up shop, and then Hasbro was nice enough to pick up the line and carry it along there, and we're going to hop into that here in a few minutes and kind of discuss some of the Hasbro figures and the history of that. But before we do here, I think we're going to go ahead and play your favorite segment of the day, my favorite segment of the day. Are you ready, brother? It is Random Wrestling Knowledge with Clyde. How are you ready, brother?
Yeah, dig it. Ready.
Dig it. Yeah, dig it.
Dig it.
All right, today, audience, feel free to play along at home. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask Clyde 3 random questions. He has no idea what they are, what topic it's about. It is wrestling related, of course, but he has no idea if it's male, female, what era. And he didn't have any time prepared for this, and let's see how he does. The last few days, he's actually done pretty good. I think he's actually gotten 5 out of the last 6 questions correct. Is that right?
That sounds about right, man.
And the one that you got wrong, I think, was just the Ric Flair one, where, and I don't know if you saw, Mike Britt was nice enough to clarify in the comments there for us. Ric Flair was actually born in Nashville and was adopted by a family out of Minnesota. So in a way, you was kind of right about that one, though. You wasn't off by much on that one.
Yeah, I was just really thinking Minnesota, but you learn something, or you try to learn something new every day.
All right, so we're going to talk about WWF LJN figures today. Why not, right?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
And that's why when we was on the topic, actually, there's a few things I was wanting to say, but I didn't because I kind of wanted to save it for this little segment. So let's hop into this. What year? Actually, let's start with this. What was the WWF LJN wrestling line called? What was the figures called? Question number 1. What was the actual wrestling line called?
I want to say that was called the Superstars of Wrestling.
Mr. Producer Man, show me the Superstars of Wrestling. Actually, Wrestling Superstars, but close enough. Yeah, Wrestling Superstars. All right, ready? Question number 2 for the day, LJN related. Audience, feel free to play along at home. This is not the bonus round. But here we go. Question number 2. What was the first year? What was the first year that LJN made the WWF action figures?
I believe it was 1984.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 1984. Yeah, 1984, dude. Wow, on a roll today, brother.
Dig it.
Dig it. All right, question number 3. Are you ready?
Yes.
Keeping it all LJN today, baby. Keeping it all big and rubber today. Are you ready?
That's what she said.
That's right. That's what she said. All right, dude. Question number 3. What was the last year LJN made wrestling figures?
1989.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 1989. Every time I play that, like, I'm just like excited, man. You're doing good today, and like I'm actually like dancing over here when that's playing.
Yeah, that was a three-peat for today, man.
You kind of reminded me of like the Bulls from the '90s, there, dude.
Yeah, maybe I can retire, go play baseball, and come back and do another one.
Yeah, you're like the Bill Cartwright or the Craig Hodges of the team. Man.
I'm more like the guy in the stand selling hot dogs, brother.
You're that guy standing by the big Gatorade jug at the end of the bench. No, that's me.
That's fair enough.
That's me, brother. That's me. All right, so yeah, let's continue on with our toy talk here. Talking about your damn baby dolls. I can't believe you even got me to do this damn show. I guess that's why it's a clusterfuck from the start, but that's all right. No, we're having fun doing it. That's the main thing, folks, out there. Excuse my language, because there might be kids listening to this one. I apologize for that, because this is a toy-related show. You never know who's going to click on it on YouTube, baby. All right, so let's talk about this. We want to talk about the Hasbros, the Hasbro line, and what's some of your favorite Hasbros? Once they took over the line, these are they're about 4 to 4.5 inch tall, just hard plastic figures. Each of them may do one move or something like that, but nothing like the LJN figures from years prior, right?
Yeah. I put all the different Bret Harts. I put that at number 1. Gotta throw in the Macho Man. All the 3 different Macho Man. Let's see, the white zebra pants. I guess Brutus Beefcake. Let's see. Such a good line, man.
Yeah, some of the figures are getting just so hard to find. Of course, I mean, you could talk about the Kamala all day, but there's a lot like the Dusty Rhodes. I mean, there's just so many that's hard to Bam Bam Bigelow. There's so many of them that's hard to find in the package nowadays.
Yeah, I'll throw Dusty Rhodes in there, and then last a little, maybe a lesser known one. I really like the Mountie Hasbro. I think it's a really cool figure.
Yeah, old Mountie, man. Yeah, that was a good one, man. That was such a beautiful time in wrestling, like when it was like the gimmicks were in, and so the figures were always so cool, I think, just back when they had all the gimmicks, you know what I mean? Like the gimmicky figures was always like the Big Boss Man and Bam Bam, and like you said, the Mountie, and just how colorful and bright and just the attire and everything, it made for an awesome action figure.
Yeah, they're a beautiful line. I remember actually taking Bret Hart to school with me when I was in middle school.
In middle school, look at that. How many kisses were you getting in middle school?
Not enough, brother.
Not enough. Did you actually wear it around your neck? Like, did you how some people like wear their house keys or something around their neck, like when you're in school, when you're that age? Did you wear the Bret Hart around your neck, like in the head on the back?
No, I was sneaking them in to trade wrestlers, trade with friends.
Oh, that's good. At least you was just smuggling wrestlers and nowadays though, you never know the way school is nowadays. You might get suspended for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to throw in an honorable mention. I almost forgot. I really love the Roddy Piper Hasbro also.
Yeah, well said. And the Ravishing Rick Rude one is really cool. I also thought another one was really cool was and I know it might not be one of the more popular ones just because he kind of looked crazy and not really like himself, but I thought the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat one just looked really cool.
Yeah, and it has the attachable dragon frill. It's real vibrant colors. I enjoy it. I'd like to have that one in my collection.
Yeah, absolutely. Coco Beware. I mean, we're just going down the list here. Some of the more vibrant ones, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Coco, back to the LJN, that's another one. When I was a kid, I don't know why I didn't think that figure even existed.
You didn't think it existed, or you just didn't know, or?
I seen it in the magazine, and none of my friends ever had it, and, I didn't have it. Coco, Axe from Demolition, and the Big Boss Man. I never thought any of those were actually really made.
Are they hard to find, all three of them? Or I think Coco's not as hard to find as Axe and the Big Boss Man, is he?
You see a couple of loose Cocos on eBay. Every once in a while, somebody will have a carded. Boss Man is one of the most desirable wrestling figures out there.
Was he one of the 6 made in that last series in '89?
Yeah, he was one of the black cards that was actually not a reproduction of he was a brand new figure. Boss Man is, he's very, very high. Big money right there.
I think that last series, was it Series 6 or, in '89, there was only, and someone else can clarify maybe, and you might know, wasn't there only 6 figures in that series? And it was kind of like an unreleased series, and it was only ended up being released in Canada, and that's why those black carded ones are so desirable. They're like very tough to find,
Yeah, you're correct. They're high dollar. I have a few LJNs, nothing like what I would like to have.
Step your game up, damn it.
They're hard, brother. You looked on there, looked at the prices. They're up there.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I've just got a few of them myself. I've kind of just quit trying to chase those, and I'm really excited to see the Young Bucks or the LJN have actually stepped back into the wrestling game for the first time in, was it like 30 years?
Yeah. If I had to place a bet on a figure that's out now that's going to be worth a lot later, it would be that one. I'm going to try to grab as many of those as I can.
Yeah, it's really cool to see LJN back, and now that they're making those Young Bucks figures, I'm hoping that they're going to go ahead and transition into just making all the AEW figures or something. That would just be awesome if that was their exclusive action figure contract, and they was making 8-inch rubber figures in traditional LJN packaging. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that?
Yeah, they could even do the bendies and the thumb wrestlers. That would bring. They had stretchy, I think they were called bendums or stretchables, something like that. They're really rare also, LJN.
They could do the whole series, man. Card them all individually. I just want a single carded Kenny Omega LJN style figure. Oh my goodness, right? Chris Jericho and Cody, and oh man, that would be too cool.
Yeah, the Lucha Brothers, that would be neat. The mask and everything.
That would be beautiful. And I guess I would assume that if they, and this is all speculation at this point, all we've got right now is just a pre-order on one set of Young Bucks one Young Bucks tag team set. And I don't know how the contract was worked out with that. It's most likely, I would assume, something that's just individually contracted with the Young Bucks and LJN themselves. I don't think this is necessarily anything official, like a partnership with AEW or anything. So we're just kind of speculating at this point. But it's not really a stretch to see that they could connect the dots from here, and they could end up with making these toys.
Yeah, one little tidbit to add there. LJN is in bed with the Chalk Line too, and Chalk Line has been making wrestling jackets and apparel for a really long time. So there could be a really good chance that we're going to see a lot of these figures.
Yeah. Okay. That would be cool, man. Good little. I like the way you're over there late at night, brother, connecting the dots, looking like Jerry Fletcher. I love it, brother. Up late at night. Got the escape route set in the apartment. I love it.
That's right, baby.
I know you're busy on the airplanes, the jets. You're so busy all the damn time, dude. But one day I'm going to catch you with this damn guitar, dude. You're not even going to see it coming. It's going to be beautiful, dude. I'll split your damn head open. You're going to like Becky Lynch after, you're going to like Ronda Rousey after the last couple pay-per-views ago, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, good Lord.
Coming at you, brother. Yeah, we can do one of the matches ECW style. What was it, like the Rotten Brothers?
Yeah, that was some wild wrestling, man.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just super glue the glass to our bare knuckles. Let's just have it out, bro. Talk about getting some subscribers.
I think I'll pass on that one, brother.
Yeah, it'll probably be our last show the day before that one, brother. All right, dude. Let's move on here. Let's talk about, and this list is, I guess, subject to perception. Each person may have their own list, but because the prices are constantly changing on these figures. But let's talk about 10 of the rarest WWE action figures in the history of the game, baby. You want to?
Yeah, let's get them out there.
All right, now this list is just subject to, it's not really in any certain order. It is somewhat, but, you just kind of take it as a grain of salt. We're just going to kind of review these figures. All right, here we go. What about number 10? What did you think about, and excuse me here, what do you think about the, wow. The axe from Demolition in LJN.
In the black card or blue card,
Oh, the
same figure.
Black carded one.
Oh, I love it, man. That was one of the ones that, like I was saying when I was younger, I didn't think that was a real figure. To me, that's a bucket list figure. That's how much I want that one. So I'm a big fan of that figure.
Yeah, the Demolition axe figure on the black card. Yeah, it goes for a lot of money, even loose and all tore up.
Yeah, I've seen one for $170 that was missing paint and everything.
So what about the Honky Tonk Man on the black card? That's another. We're going down the list here. Going to talk about 10 figures. This is second one. Honky Tonk Man. What do you think, brother?
One of my favorite figures of all time. I actually have one in my collection, thanks to Mr. Ronnie James. But I love the figure. My wife, she loves it even more. Yeah, it was one of my bucket lists, but luckily I was able to add it to my collection a few years back.
Yeah, in the package, this thing's somewhere around $600 to $1,000.
Yeah, if it's the black card, yeah, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, so that's one of the more rare toys. If you ever run across one of those and you're lucky enough to own it, kudos to you. Number 8 here's another tough one, and a lot of these are from the same series because these are just tough to find. But the Hulk Hogan on the black card, LJN.
Yeah, that's a beautiful figure. I'm not just a really big fan of Hulk Hogan, but it's a good figure. I'll let you cover that one.
It came with the belt. I like that fact. It had an accessory. Not too many of the LJNs, not too many of the really wrestlers up until Jax took over really had too many accessories.
Yeah, I know you're an old school Hulkamaniac, so you'd probably like to have that one.
Oh, I would definitely. It's I think we was watching a show one time, and I don't remember was it the Toy Hunter or Toy Collector or some kind of show that used to come on, and the guy actually went and met Hogan at Hogan's Beach Shop and purchased one of these from Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that was the Toy Hunter. And Tampa, Florida. That's where he bought that at the beach shop.
And he only gave Hulk Hogan, I want to say, like $200 or $300 for the figure, and he ended up selling it for $500 or $600 or something like that. And I was like, man, I think it was even worth a lot more than that at the time. I was like, where are they coming up with these prices at?
Yeah, he got a still there, man. That's a really good figure right there.
Yeah, I like it though. I like the white. He's got the white boots on in this one and the red trunks, and it's a lot different visually compared to the classic Hogan with the yellow.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty easy to find in LJN world.
Oh, loose.
Yeah, the yellow one, loose.
Oh, the yellow one. Yeah, absolutely. And next we'll go to have you ever heard of any of the AWA Matt Mania figures?
Oh yeah, I know all about those. Well, not everything, but I know of them. I had some.
So you know about the Remcos?
Yeah.
So did you have did you have any of the Remcos? And do you know about the Ric Flair? Like it actually had a robe on it and stuff, and how rare that is actually to get.
Yeah, I had the Ric Flair. I had the Freebirds. I want to say that was it on those. I liked them, man, but I'm just an LJN kind of guy. But I did have a few of them that always reminded me of He-Man figures.
Well, for you historians out there, did you know that actually this was the first line of figures that Shawn Michaels was actually featured in, was these Remcos?
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah, they had they had Legion of Doom. Actually, they were the Road Warriors then, and like Carlos Colon, that's one I would like to have in my collection.
And yeah,
I'm a big fan of Carlito.
Right, yeah, I bet that's probably a rare figure also in the package, I would assume. But if you're lucky enough to have the Ric Flair, the John Nord, or the Shawn Michaels in the package, I mean, you're talking about upwards of $1,500 to $2,000.
Wow.
Woo!
Styling and profiling.
All right, we're gonna move on the list here. What about the Ultimate Warrior black carded LJN figure?
Unbelievable figure right there. That's actually another one that was one I didn't think existed. as far as colors and that, the colors on that figure just pop. It's real vibrant. It's a beautiful figure.
It does pop. He was just wearing his, I guess, his orange tights and his orange knee pads, but he's got the tassels on and stuff. And yeah, it's like his face is painted. It's just like it's just like the mold of the classic vision you have of Warrior in your mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece for sure.
Yeah, very tough figure to find. I don't know how much I think in the package this thing's fetching somewhere around $2,500 to $3,000 these days.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I've seen a few. Every once in a while it pops up, man. It's a rare one though.
And coming up next, we had a couple of like more modern figures. Actually, there's a few Ultimate Warrior limited edition Mattel made, like the Legends series or the Defining Moments. Have you seen those?
I don't know if I've seen them. Are you sure you're not talking about the Jax figures?
No, there is some Jax ones also. There is some Jax ones. Yeah, hold on a second here. I'm talking about, and I'm looking at this image of this. It's showing me a picture of a Defining Moments with a long coat on, and his head shaved, hair's cut real short in it.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a new one on me.
He's got gray hair. He's got gray hair. It's like a newer picture of him on the figure.
Oh wow, no, I've never seen that one.
Yeah, we can talk about the Jax ones too. So I always want to touch on the Defining Moments one because I had never seen it either, actually, and that's new to me also. But the Jax ones, didn't they have some that was like limited to so many? And actually on the box it would say like 1 of 1,000 or 1 of 50 or something like that with the Warriors.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior was very, very smart with his dealings in Jax. He wanted his figures to be very valuable and very rare, and they accomplished the goal there.
Yeah, some of those fetch, thousands of dollars now, don't they?
Oh yeah, big time money, man. You'd be lucky to even see them on eBay.
And so we'll move on down the list here, brother, since I botched the damn Ultimate Warrior one there with the... Now, I just seen this picture, it kind of distracted me. I'm like a damn puppy or a goldfish. I'm like, oh, what's this? Bright colors, bright colors. I just start hopping away from the damn show. But now this Warrior Defining Moments, I'm going to have to check into that a little more, too. I've never seen this one. I'll send you a picture, too, once we get off the air, and I'll try to post a picture on our groups, too, and maybe we can get some more info on this one.
Okay.
So let's move on here. What about Miss Elizabeth in the purple skirt, the LJN figure?
Beautiful figure, yeah. They had her in the purple, and I think the purple is the rare one. They had the gold, which was kind of the common one. It's kind of a bucket list figure for me also, man. A beautiful figure. Miss Elizabeth from our home state here, Kentucky, Lexington.
Well said, brother.
I would love to add that to my collection.
And moving on with the LJNs here, what about that Heart Foundation box set now? If you get them in a box set, LJN style, how valuable is an item like that if you was lucky enough to have that in your collection?
Well, in my opinion, it's the holy grail of wrestling figures because, I love the Heart Foundation. Man, talking about a bucket list, and good luck finding it because, I look all the time. You'll see it every once in a blue moon show up.
Yeah, that goes for well over $2,000, in the package with the belts and everything intact, and seemingly unopened. It's kind of hard to tell with those LJN box sets if they've been opened or not,
Yeah, it'd be real easy to fake it, so you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, I guess as long as you have the box and all the pieces and everything, do you always list that as mock, or if it's been opened and resealed, do you list it as that if you're selling it?
Yeah, if you got one and you're gonna sell it, you might as well be honest if they have been taken out of the box, because those figures do have little wires around the arms and things like that.
Oh, okay. See, I never actually opened You've opened a tag team box of LJNs before?
No, I wish, but I've looked at enough pictures to see that there's little ties around some of their arms.
Little twisted ties.
Little twisties, baby.
All right, enough about the damn Heart Foundation. Let's move on to one I want to talk about, and that is
I'm coming for you now.
That is the '89 series Macho Man Black Card.
Ooh, yeah. Don't get much better than that. When I think of LJNs, really, that's the first figure that pops in my head.
That figure on the black card is about $5,000.
Yeah, that's a little out of my league, even if I had it.
If you can find it, and that's one of the rarest figures out there. Like, so, you probably can't even find one if you're wanting one, and if someone has one, you might have to spend more than $5,000 to pry it out of their hands.
Yeah, I have the same figure in the regular old blue, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you got it in the box. It's beautiful, actually. Hopefully, we can get a picture of that. We'll share it on one of our groups also, and you guys can check that out. It's a beautiful piece. And yeah, that Macho Man. It's funny. It's like the new retro series. There's like 2 different versions of the Macho Man in the package. You know, like one with the arms down, one with the arms up. And it's kind of like with the LJN. You know, it's the same exact Macho Man, isn't it, on the black card?
Yeah, it's the same exact figure.
So like if you ever buy the black card one, don't open it. Just get you a regular one and open it if that's what you're wanting to do is open it. Because after you open it, it's the same, right, brother?
Yeah, basically it's the same figure.
So yeah, let's move on here, dude. There's one I want to talk about, our final figure of the day. And this one is subject to lots of controversy. And there's really, if you just take a moment to Google the backstory on this figure and to see the... there's rumors of people forging these things out there. There's all kinds of stuff going on. One of the more intriguing figures in wrestling history, even if you're not a fan of the toys, just the story around this toy is really cool. What about the Kamala Hasbro the Kamala with the moon on his belly, LJN?
Yeah, amazing figure. I've heard the lore of that one. Supposedly, some people out there have made some counterfeit ones. So anybody that
now, this is a Hasbro figure. I'm sorry, a Hasbro figure, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it is a Hasbro. Anybody that may be listening, if you got a lot of money and you're into toys, be careful if you buy one of those, because I've heard some nightmares about that one.
And so, what's the backstory? Like the Kamala in the package without the moon on the belly is very expensive, also. But was there evidently just like a very few produced with the moon on the belly?
I've heard numbers from anywhere from 3 to 5. I even heard 10 one time. So, you would almost have to get a hold of somebody that worked there to really find out the truth.
And was those actually released to the public, like to buy?
That part I'm not sure about.
Was it put on the shelf somewhere, to purchase?
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure, but I know they got a monster price tag on them.
Yeah, they do. We have to, and if any of you guys, any listeners out there know any more backstory on these Moonbelly Kamalas, please share it with us, because it's very intriguing. Like I said, there's lots of rumors and sultry tales of forgery out there. It's just crazy if you really take a few moments to research it. It's really just an intriguing topic, just aside from the toy aspect of it,
Yeah, you got to tread lightly with the Kamala Moonbelly.
Well said, brother. And you better tread lightly next time I see your ass, because I've got a guitar in a case ready to go, brother. So.
Well, after what you said about the Heart Foundation, I think I am coming for you.
That's right. This Sunday at the Gardens. But man, it's been a great show today. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up, dude. You got anything you want to say? Any closing thoughts, brother, before we hop out?
Yeah, if anybody that listened to us, if you liked it, let us know. If you didn't, hit us with the King Kong Bundy splash for the 5 count, and we'll be sharing this podcast on our Facebook affiliate pages. I'm going to go ahead and list those now. Bliss Army, Becky Lynch Mob, the Hitman Heart Fan Club, Kofi Kingston Club, I Heart Pro Wrestling, Carlito Caribbean Cabana, Wrestling is Our Passion, Wrestling Unleashed, All Access Indie Wrestling, WWF, LJN Maniacs, All Elite Wrestling, that's in all capitals. Also, I wanted to give a little shout out to the South Louisville Toy and Antique Mall in Louisville, Kentucky. Their address is 4150 East Blue Lick Road. Phone number 502-955-5303. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday, 1 to 5. They have all kinds of wrestling figures. They have some of the ones we've covered today, loose. Some of them may be in the box. You never know what's coming in, but that's about it for me, brother.
Well said, brother. I appreciate you having that list ready at the end of the show every day, because that's the only damn preparation you do, and you can't find that list anywhere else. So for you having that list ready, you just made my list, so thank you for that, brother. And yeah, like you said about that Toy and Antique Mall, there's 4 toy stores in a row right there. If you guys are ever around the Louisville, Kentucky area, swoop in and check it out. There's not only that Toy and Antique Mall, there's actually 3 toy stores directly right next to it, and it is kind of like a retro, old school kind of mom and pop's little strip mall. You're not going to find a place like that anywhere else. Lots of unique items. I mean, you can get original Masters Universe in package, original G.I. Joes in package, old school wrestling figures. I mean, it's a really cool little strip mall. Check it out if you get a chance. Also, I'd like to give a quick shout out to a couple of our friends, Emmanuel Register and Evelyn. Thank you so much for helping us out with all the sites. We couldn't do this without you guys. Mike Britt, thanks for being our resident WCW historian. And yeah, if you like us, guys, put us over. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe. If you don't like us, let us know. We'll do a job for you on your show. That's the way we roll right here on this podcast. And having said that, we're going to hop out, and we will see you guys on Monday.